It's Liz Yuille from Old Staples Crafts again. Thank you for joining me today. Today I am it's requests on Saturday, and one of the requests was to do some slightly different card fronts. So these are the cards that I've already made, and as you see, they've got an aperture in the middle on both of them, and then on the inside we've got their little backs. It's so sweet. So I actually made the card specifically because a friend of mine has just had their third child, and it's a girl. They've got 2 boys already, so this is the one I will be sending to them. And then I made this one just as an example of the elephant, and then I will be doing the lion. So I am using the A Little Wild stamp set, and I'm also using the matching framelits. And they come as a bundle. So on page 108, you will see that they come as a bundle. You can either get them in clear mount or wood mount. Now you can obviously just get the stamps or just the framelits. But if you get them as a bundle, you get 10% off. If you like wood mount, now those of you who've seen my videos for a while know that I am a clear mount girl, because having got the blocks, I like the narrower storage and the fact that I've got the blocks, so I don't need to pay extra for the wood. But if you are a wood mount person, the bundle is £45, and during July, Stampin' Up are doing bonus days. So for every £45 you spend on one order, you get an email voucher that you can use as a discount on anything you spend in August. So you get, for £45, you get a £4.50 voucher to spend in August on anything you want from the annual catalogue. Or there is a pre-order launch for one of the stamp sets that is coming in the Christmas catalogue, and it's the Carol for Christmas stamp set and matching framelits. So you could use your £4.50 towards that. If you're spending a lot, you may want to consider the best deal in the whole catalogue, which is the starter kit, particularly during July, because we're doing Christmas in July, which is the Carols of Christmas stamp set, 2D blocks, a grid pad, a bone folder, a snail, and a pair of snips will be included in your starter kit. That's valued at £65. So in addition to your £130, you get £65 of additional stuff, all for just £99, including free shipping. So, if you've got a large order, that's probably the way to go. You can then join my team, which would be lovely. I'd love to welcome you to the stable hands. So, yeah, give that a go. Have a look at both of those. Right, so I am going to use the lion this time. So this one. So we've got the boy and the girl, and this is the sort of, I know you've had a child and I really can't remember what it was version. So I've mounted the lion already on my eye block. This is crumb cake, just so that we've got some all over colour in the background already. The others I coloured in using the blender pen. And I will probably do some blender pen work on this as well. So let's just stamp that down. Will I close that? No, I'll just leave it a little open so that I can do some blender pen work if I wish. So there we are. That's our lion, nicely stamped. Just clean the stamp off with my trusty Stampin' Scrub. And then I'll just get my blender pen and just add a little bit of shading, because, you know, he's going to be have a bit of shadow down at the bottom and at the end of his tail. And we all know that the end of a lion's tail is darker than the rest of it. So let's just blend that a bit and just give him generally a bit of extra colour. Do be slightly careful with using the blender pen on the coloured cardstock. In fact, any of the cardstock that isn't the shimmer or the watercolour, because it can peel a little. So you need to kind of have a gentle hand and just add a little bit without going too mad. And if you want to add more colour, wait for what's there to dry and then go back. Otherwise you will pill your card, and I will try and show you what that looks like in a minute. But I want his mane to be a bit darker. And I'm just using the soft suede again for my colouring, because particularly on a child's card I think it's nice to use the softer shades. Just add a bit more shadow there, and just down there, and then on his mane, and well, actually we'll do the back shadow first, because that's going to be in shade, and then he's going to be in his own shadow there, and then we can bring that up and then just add a little bit more shadow under his mane, and then the back of his tail wants to match the front, and then the mane can just be a bit of an all over with darker at the bottom and at the sides. You do need to try and keep inside the lines for this, because although there is a die, the die does not cut exactly next to the stamping, not least of all because it cuts a tag. It really is the cutest little set. Now obviously if you wanted to just do the back or the front, what you would do is mask off the stamp that you don't want to ink up with a post-it note. So if this was the stamp, you'd mask that off, ink up the one you want, then remove that and stamp. So there we are, there's our cute, we'll give him a bit of not a smile so much, but a little bit of shading on his cheeks. There we are. And around his ears. There. Now, pilling. Let's see if I can show you what that looks like. There we go. Pilling. I don't know if you can see that, but it's gone rough. I can actually take that off and peel it away. So that's what pilling is, and it's just, with standard cardstock it tends to be an issue if you get the cardstock too wet. So the die I very carefully put to one side, and as ever, me being me, I've covered it up. You'd think it's big enough. Oh, you know, I can't see it because I'm looking straight at it. Right, okay. So let me just run that through my Big Shot. And I'm using the magnetic base plate because that is my preferred base plate, and it does mean that you've got a little chance of the things not actually moving around too much. With the smaller dies, you do sometimes need to just let it be where it wants to be. So there you are, and look, it's got this little tag. If I put it on the cream, look, isn't that sweet? So if I fold that in half, which I need to anyway, it's a little tag, which is the sweetest thing. Having said that, I don't want it as a tag, so all I'm going to do is just, it's probably easier to do it from the front actually, because then I can follow the shape of the lion's mane. There we are. So that's our little lion, isn't he? So cute! Right, so having found my die, let's pop it away before I lose it again. Right, I have also die cut, because it comes in the set, this little leaf pattern, which I'm going to use just as a bit of an embellishment on the front. And to make the hole in the front here, I need the very largest of the stitched shape framelets of the circles, and then this is the third largest of the layering circles dies. And what I'm going to do is, on my yellow, or So Saffron, I am going to bring in my magnetic plate. And remember, all the dimensions will be on the associated blog post, which is linked below. So don't worry about writing any of this down, but this is a standard A5 piece of card. So it's A4 cut in half, scored down the middle, so it'll make an A6 card base, which for the European market is what I would call standard. So I'm popping both of those down. I'm trying to get it so that it's in the middle by eye. And then run that through my big shot. So that I have got a hole in my card front, so an aperture in my card front. I don't need that piece, so I can use that for something else. And then this will be my frame. And then to cut the piece that goes on the front, all I'm going to do is line it up on the front, flip it over, and then with the circle die, pop that in the middle, and then that will run through the big shot. And because it's the magnetic base plate, again, I'm reasonably comfortable that that's going to be in the right place still. I do need that piece, and then if I pop this on what will be the front of my card the right way up, it will line up on the front and not be too terrible on the back, particularly as I'm going to cover quite a lot of that up. So let's just fold our card so that we know we've got that nicely folded. Should probably have done this before I did the die cutting, but you know, it's a video that's being shot live, so why would I ever plug my brain in? Right, so that will then go on the front there. But before that, I am going to run it through the ruffled textured embossing plate, the other way up. If you are using the thick cardstock or the coloured cardstock, then give it a couple of spritzes of water using the mister. Oops, and juggle the mister, because that will help soften up the card so that it goes through the embossing folder better. For this you use the standard Big Shot platform and just one cutting plate because it's the thicker embossing folder, and then run it through with the crease of the embossing folder first. So we've then got this lovely ruffle, which I think for a child or a baby card is really, really cute. So let me pop all my Big Shot bits away. So that's the front of the card. This will then go here, and then this will go here, so that we've got our little lion. But first I want to do some stamping on here. I want to A, put the sentiment, and B, just put some grass down. So I'll do the grass first. There is a little grass stamp in the stamp set. So all I'm going to do is just do some first and second generation stamping to build up a bit of a grassy effect. Be better if it was sort of flat. There we are. And then that was with Pear Pizzazz, and then with our soft suede again, I'm going to use the same sentiment I had before, which is a great big welcome for a sweet little someone, and I'm going to put that kind of up and slightly to the right. Actually, do I want to go too far to the right? Yeah, no, I do need to go quite a bit to the right because of how the lion is folded. So that's that. Right, let's start building everything up. Okay, So, the first thing I want to do is pop my grass down. Now I'm going to use the multi-purpose glue. You could use the fine tip glue pen, which would work very well, particularly as this is fine. You could also use the new adhesive sheets before you die cut it. Had I thought about it, I possibly would have done that. I don't tend to use the fine tip glue pen on camera because I find that trying to get the needle back in under pressure is just not going to happen. So I don't. And I'm quite happy to use this because this dries reasonably quickly. And again, the fine tip glue pen takes a wee bit longer to dry. And I'm just going to have that in both directions. And then I'll pop some glue round the frame. On the subject of which, are you still in frame? Yes, you are. So the other offer that I haven't mentioned is one that I'm doing, which is for every £25 you spend in my online store, you get entered to win 2 of the Hostess sets, which are the Dare to Dream and the Tranquil Tulips. The Tranquil Tulip seems to be just going mad. It's really trending. Yeah, that may be a way of getting it if you're not someone who would be able to get an order together so that you qualify for Hostess stamp sets. You may want to think about that for a way to get your hands on one. So I'm just sticking this onto the front of my card. And I just want to make sure that I haven't got, yeah, see, I stupidly put glue where there is nothing. So we'll get rid of that because fortunately it does rub off. So that's that. Whilst that is sort of settling, I will pop this in here. And again, I'm going to do this from the front because then I can see where it's going. And I'm going to use wet glue again because I do like my wet glue. I do particularly like wet glue on anything that's embossed because you can, with the dry adhesive, sometimes end up flattening your embossing, which kind of defeats the object of the exercise. So there we are, that's that. Then this little chappy, we're just going to pop down here. So for that, I will again use my wet adhesive, put more at the bottom than I will at the top, and just very carefully pop him up, hold the card away from the base whilst I decide where he's going to be so that you can still see the sentiment from the front. Give him a press from the front, give him a press from the back, and there he is. So there we go. 3 really cute little baby cards from the Little Wild stamp set. I think those are really cute. Any new mum would be really delighted to receive one of those to celebrate the birth of their baby. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button down there. Associated blog post with all the dimensions is below. There's also links to all the items that I've used below and on my blog post. I'd love it if you are able to buy from me so I can bring you more silliness like this. So I hope to see you soon. And let me know if there are any requests you would like for Saturday. Thanks a lot.